About 5 million Kazakhs live beyond the borders of Kazakhstan in 43 countries of the world. The Aghain program tells us about our fellow countrymen who happen to be outside their country. The program's heroes have different immigration circumstances. They face different challenges. Foreign languages are difficult for some and easy for others, but they all have interesting personalities. They take in other traditions but are also enriched with our Kazakh values. There is no doubt it develops the world culture. This time our filming crew arrives in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the UAE. The hero of the program, Bakhyt, Turekeev, meets them at the airport. Before moving, he defended the thesis, held the position of the senior physician and vice manager of the Astrology and Radiology Scientific and Research Institute. It's very interesting what could force a successful man at the age of 40 to start a new life. The UAE is located in Asia in the northern part of the Arabian Peninsula. On the shoreline of the Arabian Gulf, it shares borders with Saudi Arabia and Oman, and it is a federal state, including 7 emirates, each of which is absolutely sovereign. The basis of national economy is mineral production and its export, mainly oil and gas. But it is produced here in the volume of more than 2 million barrels per day, mainly in the Abu Dhabi Emirates. The head of this federative unit is also the state's president. Bakhyt Turekeev's history is a story of love towards a woman, a profession, and people. He got married with Gulnara here in Emirates 6 years ago. Thanks to one occasion in his childhood when he decided to become a doctor, he met Gulnara, and now he has a great opportunity to walk in Abu Dhabi holding her hand.
Orta mektepte bitirerden aldığında ol dərgər bolam deb oylagan жоқтығын.
Father. Before finishing the middle school, he never thought of becoming a doctor. He was planning to enroll in the Moscow Bauman Technical University. He thought he will be an engineer. When he was in the 10th grade, he suddenly got appendicitis. This is how he got in a hospital. He had a surgery, and when he was released from the hospital, he said, "Dad, I decided to become a doctor because my parents are doctors, and I want to continue what you do."
Avrupa'dan çıkandan keyin papa men endi dərigər bolam deb özüm şeçtim. Sebebi mamam da papam da dərigərlər sizlərdən izlərinizdə men quvayın deb.
Bakhyt entered the Akhtubinsk Medical University, and Gulnara had a dream to become a doctor. We've known each other for more than 30 years. When we were students in medical university, we were course mates. He was one of the most handsome young men, tall, well set up. He graduated with honors, and so all the girls loved him very much. It worked out unwell for them. They graduated from the university. The disciplines were chosen. Gulnara selected ophthalmology. Bakhyt selected surgery and science, and both of them appeared in Almaty at different periods of time, and again the occasion.
I
worked in the Ocular Disease Institute, finished my clinic residency, and one of my colleagues from Medical Institute wanted to leave for another country, from an advertisement in the Caravan magazine. So she pushed me to do it too, and we both submitted the documents, but because of personal circumstances, my colleague did not come. I was the one who came. All that time we talked to each other, keeping in touch, but 6 years ago we decided to start a family together. We understood that we were created for each other. The professional passion was mixed with the wish of living with his sweetheart. Bakhyt wanted to check what exactly he can do in another country. Clothes were packed into a trunk within days.
Bir günü uyga telefon soğat. Papa ben
One day he calls home and says, "Dad, I'm calling you from Abu Dhabi. I could never think of anything like this. I didn't even know where this city is. We never heard about it." I even thought for 1 second, is there a city in Kazakhstan called Abu Dhabi? Where can it be? Then he said, "I'm calling from the center of the Emirates." And now I understood what was going on. I got afraid and started asking how he got there. He said he went there without telling us. He found a job and stays to work. He said that if he told me, I would not let him go. And he wants to learn the language. He said, "I want to know about other countries too. What is new that they have there. I want to get experience. I want to see how people work in the field of medicine and so on." So I was not offended. But of course, I had this thought, why did he not tell us?
Endi oğan men rенжiген жокмун, бирок неге айтып кетпedi деген ой келди әрине.
People think that those who immigrated usually don't work within their specialty. Basically, they do low-skilled job or low-paid work washing the dishes, deliver newspapers, or a clerk at a grocery store. Proving your qualification on a foreign language is very hard. The state language in the UAE is Arabic, but English is used almost in every area of life, even in the medical industry. Bakhyt couldn't say a word in English.
Мы с Bakhytом познакомились где-то несколько лет назад, когда он приезжал сюда впервые в нашу больницу искать работу.
I got acquainted with Bakhyt a few years ago when he came for the first time to our hospital looking for a job. He was such a man who is very straightforward. I remember when he came the first time his English was poor, but 3 years later he came back again, and I remember his interview. We worked together, and when I read his epicrisis, I was surprised with his knowledge of English. He completely changed over those 3 years.
Как он все это описывает, в общем, он владел английским прямо очень хорошо. Там за эти 3 года, если сравнить с тем, что было, когда он только приехал.
Gulnara passed all these procedures earlier, learning the English language, defending her diploma work, having an interview with local professors. She confirmed her level of knowledge and at the same time defended her master's thesis in Russia. She got the international status of ophthalmologist, and now she is in a good standing with one prestigious private clinic in Abu Dhabi for many years, which is called Dar al-Shifa. She helped her husband, but she was really surprised that being in adulthood, he learned English in 8 months. Moreover, he could read medical magazines. Bakhyt passed exams very easily.
В чем же отличие работы в госпитале здесь и от работы врача у нас? Ну, я не
What is
говорю
the
о
difference
финансах.
between working here in the hospital and working there as a doctor? I'm not talking about the financial side of the issue, because these questions are very incomparable. I mean patience and your colleagues' attitude towards you. Here in this country, a doctor is a social status, upper-class professional, so the attitude towards you is the same. When I had hard times, I even didn't understand what they asked me. When they were calling me, telling me something, I couldn't recognize a word, so I stammered, and I could not answer correctly, and I never met a person who could tell me. How is he working here? Who hired him? Everyone is so kind, and everyone tried to help me.
Старались помогать мне.
Больные здесь, конечно, тоже.
Patients in this country are different from those who live in Kazakhstan. Our Kazakhstani patients are very well educated in the area of medicine, and they ask real scientific questions. But here, Arabian people trust doctors very much. A doctor is like a teacher for them who can give the right advice, and they follow our advices and orders.
И они педантично следуют нашим, как говорится, советам, нашим предписаниям.
An American type of public health service takes place here in the UAE, when you have more practice than theory, as little general knowledge as possible. Bakhyt considers that Kazakhstan medical education lacks it. It's an interesting fact that before you tell a patient, especially a woman, some distressing diagnosis, they ask permission from her husband or other relatives. But our fellow countrymen got used to these peculiarities.
Dr. Bakhyt has been working with us for several years now. He's been under my management for 2 years. And he's working on a specialized division. We call it Division for Trauma and Acute Care Surgery. And he has worked and served even on GI surgery. This is the part where they do oncosurgical business and they do elective business. But he's one of our senior specialists and attendings on the trauma and acute care surgery. And he is a great asset for us. This is a very skilled surgeon. He comes to us with a very big experience, a huge experience. He contributes a lot in teaching the younger members of our team. He's a perfectionist. This is one of few people who wouldn't accept to do a language exam and not get 100%. If he doesn't get 100%, he goes ahead and does the exam another time, a third time, because he never accepts anything less than a perfect.
Очень бы хотелось бы, чтобы
I want Kazakhstani doctors to have a chance to practice somewhere abroad, because it will be helpful for Kazakhstan. I do not encourage everyone to go abroad, but I encourage everyone to learn a foreign language and to communicate at the international level, and also to go abroad to work by contract. It is possible only if people study hard and achieve higher professional levels.
учиться и достигать профессиональных ступеней более высоких.
Only 3 Kazakhs are working as doctors in the UAE: Bakhyt, his wife, and a friend of their family. Our hero is the only Kazakh doctor who works in a local state hospital. Moreover, he's got international accreditation in England and he can carry out operations worldwide. The hospital administration rate highly such a key employee and even pays for living in this presentable villa. Here they receive guests from the motherland. While it is winter in Kazakhstan, his mother and father arrive here to warm up. When we see the house he lives in, we get happy. I'm happy that people value his job. I'm happy that he gets everything necessary. This means that the locals respect him. Of course, this is a compliment. I am glad and proud. I am proud that even abroad, our Kazakh boys and girls keep the image of Kazakhstan clean. Mostly immigrants live in the UAE, representatives of almost 200 nationalities from all over the world, and 85% of them are not the citizens of the state. In spite of the diversity of people, they make friends easily. People like the well-known Kazakh hospitality. So one couple, an embassy counselor of Argentina and distinguished artists of Russia, are friends of Turekeev's family now. They visit them often and invite them to come.
Я познакомила первой, я должна сказать, доктор Гulnara, его жена. Я пошла на консультацию с Gulnara, и когда я приехала, я видела его глаза и сказала, она...
Firstly, I got acquainted with Gulnara. I was getting medical advice, and the moment I saw the doctor's eyes, I understood that she might speak Russian. She told me at that moment that she is Kazakh and so on. But the point is that 1 or 2 months later, Anatoly got sick. She told me that she wanted to give me Bakhyt's number and called him also. We did not know each other that time. They're very kind, very sincere, open-hearted people. They even took my husband to their place because I was at my job. It was at 10 p.m. and they went to the hospital at once where they worked. An operation was done immediately. Then they called me saying that all was good. I couldn't believe it because we didn't know each other and it could characterize them.
Не волнуйся, все замечательно, он хорошо. Я не могла поверить, потому что действительно мы не знали друг друга. И это говорят, какие люди они есть.
В моем случае, как бы Bakhyt знает меня не только в лицо.
In my case, Bakhyt knows me not only personally, but also literally from inside. In the morning, I was operated on, and at the night, I was already at home. A highly skilled professional, no doubt. A true professional, the kindest friend, and a warm-hearted person. Sometime after we got acquainted, we felt a real friendship between us, because you can be friends with him.
Через некоторое время мы поняли, что мы в очень теплых и дружеских отношениях, потому что с ним невозможно не дружить.
Nine months ago, Aria was born here in the UAE, our long-hoped child. Both mom and dad are not so young, so the pregnancy and the labor were under the care of the doctors. In this country, the attitude towards children differs from the attitude in Kazakhstan. It is the father who visits doctors with children. They play with them, wash and even feed them from the bottle. And Bakhyt also, in spite of a hard-working day, spends much time with his daughter. He is almost an ideal father, Gulnara said, jokingly. He has one disadvantage: smoking. This name, Aria, from Teutonic, means eagle's mind, from Italian means Aria, melody. Our grandmother's name is Zhania, and we wanted it to sound good, even in English, and of course in Kazakh too. Now we know that there's a micro-district in Kazakhstan and a shop called Aria. So we are glad to have such a name. The parents speak Kazakh to Aria. They try to keep other traditions too as much as possible. For example, the date of 40 days after she was born was held according to all customs. The baby is about to start walking, and Bakhyt with Gulnara are planning to untie the hopples and celebrate it. Abu Dhabi has a well-developed restaurant business. There are 16 places only across the street from the Turekeev's house with cuisines from all over the world. But they go there only if they want some special Ukrainian stuffed dumplings or some exotic Malaysian dishes. But they mostly cook their traditional meals at home. On Fridays, they always have bishbarmak.
Алаулаған Алатау, манаураған Алатау, алаулаған Алатау. Шаңына көз жетпес, көркіне сөз жетпес, басынан қар кетпес, өзіне тау жетпес. Өңірің гүлді, өмірің жырла, жадыра жайдарлым. Бақыт нұр шашқан, даңқың бар асқан, атынан айналдым, атынан айналдым.
When it's time to say goodbye, the editors of the Aghain program have a tradition of giving souvenirs they brought from Kazakhstan, and the heroes usually say their goodbye wishes. We live far away from our motherland, and for quite a long time we have felt that Kazakhstan is our native land, and people there are our family and friends. And every time over TV or radio we watch and follow all the events that happen in Kazakhstan. It is still our homeland, our people, and we always think of Kazakhstan. I would like to wish for our country to be happy, to be successful, and people in our country to live long and healthy lives. And I wish all people to have warm and nice relations with others.
И чтобы взаимоотношения были более теплыми и мягкими между людьми.